It was a final countdown.
Oh man, ATS is finally back, and we got the call-in show too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sheesh. Hopefully, y'all, man. Hey, man, we gonna bring it more often so y'all can remember to call in because we don't know what
Nah,
to
facts.
expect. But some of y'all be like hella nervous. You
Yeah,
know what I
we
mean?
gotta make sure it's working. We gotta make sure it's working. Remember that time? I
Oh
remember who
yeah,
it was.
yeah,
Man, it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
called
yeah.
like 5 times. Nobody. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
goddamn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we good, we good. We about to get it right. We about to get it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, we back at it. We back at it for the second time this
Around the
week.
shit.
Around the Shield, man. Been on hiatus, man. Well, I don't know. It's all good. We gonna be back. We back today. All right, man. Don't forget to clock in, hit that like button, hit the comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Here we go. The silent intros have.
Exactly.
We back. We back. We back. Man, you already know. You already know what time it is, man. We back for another edition of Around the Shield, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. So we got a great show lined up, great conversation lined up. Man, the return of Around the Shield, man. We've been on a little hiatus, a little bit here and there, but we back at it. We back at it to continue this conversation, the Raider offseason edition of this show. Obviously, we're going to talk about the draft. Well, not today. Not too much to draft. I guess we can get into some of that a little bit just because of the combine happening this week.
Yeah.
If you're watching this show, the replay, I think today was the linebackers, edge, pass rushers, and I think D tackles.
Yeah.
Pretty much the front seven.
Defensive lineman. Yeah,
Yeah.
defensive lineman and linebackers basically.
Yeah. And some of the guys that we expected to like showed out. You know, the Arvo Reese's, but Sonny Styles. I told you the other day, man. Told you, watch out for Sonny Styles, man. To me, when I seen him, when I see him run stride for stride with Amari Cooper, I was like, that's a pretty fast receiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not, a
linebacker, yeah.
It doesn't matter. If a wide receiver is matched up with a linebacker, I'm expecting a wide receiver to win all day, every day, for him to run stride for stride. So I knew, just based off the season he was having, the way he flashed, and just watching him that game against Indiana especially too, he showed up well. And the combine, man, his 40 time, both Arvo Reese ran a 40, and they both ran, I think, the same time, like 4.47, 4.46.
I think Arvo Reese ran a 4.47, Sonny Styles ran a 4.46.
Yeah,
official.
But Arvo Reese, I don't think, did any other drills, but Sonny Styles, he was like, nah, I'm about to do all the drills, and he showed out. And some people are calling him a top 5 pick. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I mean, top 5 pick linebacker. I mean,
the last one was Devin White.
White. Do you take a linebacker at top 5? You know what I mean? He got to be game changing.
But the thing about Sonny Styles is that I knew he was athletic. I didn't know he was that athletic. I was thinking like 4.5, in the low 4.5s.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I thought like vert, like 37, 38, something like that. But he had a 43-inch vert. This is the highest since like 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Running a 4.46, 11.2 broad jump. Doing this at 6'5", 244. Well, that means he's matching up.
Yeah.
And he's a true off-ball linebacker. So he's not like Arvo Reese, like at the next level, he's going to be a pass rusher. He's the guy, Arvo Reese. He fits a 3-4 scheme perfectly, I digress. But Sonny Styles, he's a true off-ball linebacker, man. So if for teams looking for that true off-ball linebacker, that's versatile, that's a weapon, and you can move around. He's like the linebacker version of Nick Emmanwori.
Yeah, no, facts. I'm trying to find this. I reposted this, and it was basically putting in perspective the combine. This is hilarious. I wish I could show you guys this. I mean, I could, but it's Ruben Bain, I guess, measured in his arm length. It was, and it's supposed to be the third shortest of any DN in NFL combine history. And the picture that they used was like him with T-Rex arms is wild, bro. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man. What was crazy is I was looking at something. I think I retweeted it too, but I sent it to some people. But there's like, cause his arms are less than 31 inches, and there's never been a player ever, like no player ever at any position has had double-digit sacks that had less than 31-inch arms since they started recording arm length.
Yeah,
like never a player that had double-digit sacks. That's insane.
Man, I thought I retweeted that. I don't know if it was deleted, but it was pretty much comparing, Sonny Styles and his basically his numbers compared to like all-time greats that had like, I'm trying to find it, but I'll find it in a second. But man, if you haven't already, make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell.
Sir.
Also, you know what? I actually forgot to mention this earlier too. Did you check out the NFLPA survey? It came out.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
you saw the letter grades that the team got. Every team got, but obviously this is a Raiders show, so we're gonna talk about the Raiders. And let me just run through it real quick. We have treatment of families. A, they got an A for them players. Home game field, A-. Food and dining area, A. Nutritionist, A. Locker room, A. Training room, A. So this is the players, giving these grades out, right?
Yeah. I think it's players around the league too. I want to say. I think that players around the league.
Oh, around the league too. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
But some of these are very specific that like certain players wouldn't know because they're not there day in and day out. Like, but obviously players have come through and played for the Raiders, so yeah. So I guess that kind of factors into it as well. Training staff A, weight room A+. So they got a lot of A's. Strength coaches A. Position coaches C+. Position coaches C+.
It's one coach dragging them down.
That's what I thought.
No, position coaches, not even coordinators. No, it's just position coaches. Okay, nah.
Position
coordinators.
Yeah. Position coaches C+. And like you said, what came to mind was Brendan Carroll, so probably that brought it down a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of bit. But then Rob Leonard was a D-line coach. I'm hoping that they didn't feel that way about Rob Leonard, who's now the new DC to Raiders. Yeah. But offensive coordinator F. Yeah, straight up. They said
F. He got fired mid-season, so
they said Chip Kelly, man, F. Like the players on the team, around the league, they F. LaShawn McCoy was also still voting on this, but no.
Exactly right. But I wonder when they say that, it was just Chip, or did they factor Greg Olsen into that, or they just only factored Chip? I mean, I think if they factor both of them, it probably been a little bit higher. I'm sure the players, I think they like Greg Olsen. But not Chip, man. But look, you get fired, you lose your job mid-season, bro. Like, what else? What other grade you gonna give somebody?
Yeah,
like, yes, that's an F.
Yeah. Let me.
But they gave like Pete Carroll like a C+. I think they gave Patrick Graham a C. So, that was, I don't know, like how Pete Carroll get a C+. There it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I could put this on the screen for you guys to see. It might be better for you guys to see the letter grades. Give me just a second.
Oh, ownership, huh? All you people that all the Mark Davis needs to sell the teams. Was ownership.
So you guys can see it right here. Hopefully y'all can see it. Y'all should be able to see it like this. All right. Cool. All right. So where we at? Position coach C+. So Rob Leonard, hopefully he's not part of that grading system. Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly, not surprised there. But F is like, damn, like F.
Yeah.
The entire league, all the players that F. Not even to be honest with you, C is actually bad. Special teams corner C-. He did get fired.
C-.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, Raiders special teams was terrible this year. But defensive coordinator C. Patrick Graham.
Yep, out of here.
That's tough. Team travel, they got to be. Head coach C+. Pete Carroll still got love, so I think he got that.
Exactly,
He's still.
But see, that's thing is, look, we think about it. Think about it like this. This team got a whole bunch of Pete Carroll guys on there. A whole bunch of Pete Carroll guys. He was like, look, these grades coming out.
Yeah.
You know what to do when it comes up. When it comes to Chip Kelly, you know what to do.
Yeah. So general manager A-, team ownership A.
Like that. I like both of those. I like that finish.
So the Raiders have a lot going for themselves. I mean, like the players, they feel the ownership is on point. The general manager, they like the general manager. It's just when we start going into coaches, and this is all based off last year. So it's not about Clint Kubiak and everybody that's coming in this year. It's about last year, and I mean, all those guys for the most part are gone. To be honest with you, so they're all gone.
Every single one of them, except Robbie and Joe Woods. But it's funny, we did keep a few position coaches. Like I think Luke Steckles, he's still around, right? So far.
Luke Steckles, I think he might still be the tight ends coach. Yep.
Okay, he stuck around. That's one coach we were speculating might stay around, and especially you. I was like, look, we wait and see because Dylan McCullough. Well, I guess Dylan McCullough ended up taking another job, so that's why he wasn't actually fired. He just took a job elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Ironically, because the Chiefs caused that. Chiefs low-key sniped us for him.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. These are the grades. They come out every year. It's always interesting to see how the players feel. This is how they truly feel. So it's all I can believe this is how the league feels with the players. I can believe this because they're not, at the end of the day, I don't think any player is going to come out and say, "Oh, I hate this is," because they're not trying to burn any bridges.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting to see these grades sometimes. I remember, I think last year was funny when I think the Jets ownership got a really bad grade, and the Jets owner was kind of like salty about it.
Woody Johnson.
Yeah,
Woody Johnson.
remember, I think we talked about it last offseason. It was kind of funny.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, man.
Ownership. Hey, all you Mark Davis haters. Hey, he's from the players. So all you people, he ain't trying to win. He ain't trying. If he wasn't trying to win, or if he wasn't taking care of his players, this is the place where they let you know. Completely anonymous. This is the place they're gonna say it.
Yeah.
So obviously, how y'all feel about Mark Davis is not how the players in the organization feel about Mark Davis.
Yeah. Nah, facts. Oh, by the way, we if you guys were watching the countdown, or you know how we we're backstage just chopping it up. The call-in number. This is a call-in show, so we'll put the number in here. So if you guys want to call in, chop it up, and talk about the Raiders offseason so far, what's to come, all that good stuff, anything that you like, don't like, all that good stuff, call in, man. Chop it up, man. We appreciate different perspectives, so definitely call in and let us know what your thoughts on everything is. Let me put up the number here. Just had it up. I don't know what happened. Here we go, right there. Boom, like there. It says, I put it in bright yellow so y'all can see it, man. So it popped right there. I know some people are not fans of yellow,
that's
but
the signature Pharaoh color.
Man,
the yellow,
the yellow, man. I'm trying
color.
to make it like it's like a dark yellow. It's not like a you know what I mean. But you can relate. I mean, you're a Laker fan. You know, yellow and purple, right? Yellow. You know.
It's gold.
Gold. Oh, it's gold. Okay. It's not yellow. Okay.
Yeah, I heard that's a team. Like, it's the term. Like, if teams have like yellow, they don't use the term yellow because like it's associated with being cowardly. So every time, like everybody, they always say, like, even Packers you it's the green and gold. The Lakers is purple and gold. Like, they never say yellow.
So I said dark. So I'm gonna, you know what? Just because you said that, I'm about to change this shit because you ain't gonna play me like that, man. Come on, man.
No, but that's a legit heard that. Like, that's a legit thing. Like, if you think about it, no team says yellow for the uniform.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I never knew that's
like, think about that. Like, no team, even the Packers. Like, the Packers is clearly it's yellow. It's green. It's the green and gold. Lakers purple and gold. You know.
Yep. Yes, sir. Call in number is 856-209-5978. Again, the number is 856-209-5978. The phone lines are open. Call in if you have any thoughts about the Raiders, the off season. We've been saying we're going to be doing this call-in show for a minute. So now, hey, you guys should expect it every Thursday for the most part. That's when we'll try to. We want to talk to Raider Nation at the end of the day. We always chop it up with y'all, especially in the chat and all that good stuff. But yeah, definitely hit up the number 856-209-5978 is the number to call for the call-in show. But I was gonna say there's still running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, corners, offensive line left as far as the combine goes. We're gonna keep an eye on that. I think tomorrow was tight ends and DBs. Okay, that's gonna be interesting to see. I want to see how the DBs run because we might grab a safety. You know what I mean? Like, we might grab a safety at some point in the draft.
Nickel corner. We need that.
Nickel corner. Yeah, that's true. We do need it. We need a nickel corner for sure. But another thing too, Clint Kubiak, he was able to talk to the media during the combine, and he had some interesting things to say. I mean, the fact that like the Raiders are going to be going to a 3-4. He talked about the offensive line. It seemed like he kind of was it almost kind of implied that he was okay with what the Raiders had at in the offensive line room. So makes you think, like, are they about to go another year again of not drafting or not adding any new of substance, like, and not adding another offensive lineman, some talent in that room? Like, I know he was like very, complimentary of JPJ and, and some of the guys in the room, but still it's kind of like, I don't know if I should believe what you're saying here, because the way the question was asked, it kind of put him on the spot. So it's not like he's going to say anything bad about the players that he's trying to see what he has on the team. So I don't think he wants to, mess that whole situation up. But I think we all know they should add some talent to that room, especially with some of the guys that might be available in free agency. But yeah, what was your take on Clint Kubiak and what he had to say the other day?
Yeah, it's interesting things. I mean, he touched on a few things. Obviously the offensive line. He did mention going to a 3-4. His answer, it was funny because we talked about, like the whole Robbie Leonard thing, how that came to be. Then I think they asked him about it, and then because they asked Spytek about it at the combine, like first day of the combine, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You gotta ask Clint Kubiak." But then they asked Clint Kubiak about it. He was like, "Yeah, man, they were really high on him, and they were like." So Clint Kubiak made it seem like it wasn't necessarily like, oh, he completely his own decision to, oh, let me take a look at this guy, And he's like, oh, well, he did say he had an impressive interview, but it wasn't exactly a hands-off situation there. But the funniest thing, I know we're gonna get some of the other stuff he said, but the funniest thing to me was that they asked him like, oh, like, you got Trey Tucker over here. What do you think about Trey Tucker? He's like, yeah, man, watch Trey Tucker's film. He's like, yeah, man, he's really tough. He's really tough. I was like, yeah, no, Trey Tucker. He's thinking Trey Tucker's cheek. He's thinking Trey Tucker's cheeks. He was like, yeah, he's really tough, real tough. I'm like, all right, bro.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it is funny because it's not that bad because the thing is though, he is tough. He is tough.
He is tough.
The fact that he's a good blocker at his size, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we need some talent in that room. Come on, man.
If I bring some chicks to the party, I'm like, what you think about old girl? Oh yeah, man, she funny. She super funny, bro. Like, like what? Like, that's not what I'm asking you, dog. You know damn well what I mean. And he knew exactly what that question was about, and the direction he took it says a lot.
But do you think that I don't think he's fully evaluated the entire team. Like he doesn't want to say anything that sounds like surface level or like too specific when like because there are certain times where he was like, he didn't really want to speak too specific about like the team itself because he's still like in the process of like looking at the team, what they need. Even Mendoza. Like he's not fully, he hasn't fully evaluated Mendoza because I'm sure like this is a timing of him.
He's going to evaluate his own team first before he starts looking elsewhere.
Yeah,
I think that's the first thing he's going to do is evaluate who he has on his roster, and then based on who he has on the roster, then he'll start looking at, okay, I need this, I need that. Okay, given one thing he did identify immediately, he said, he needs a fullback. He said he's not going to like force it because obviously he wants to put the 11 best guys on the field, but a fullback is something that's important to his offense, and that's
funny, bro.
It's true though.
It's true, man. It's true.
But like
that's like man code right there. Like if you said it like anywhere, we would all look at you like, oh, okay, and just walk away.
It's facts though, man. But so it's like but I think the thing about Kubiak is like he's not a guy that's like super, I won't say he's very like matter of fact. So I think if it was a situation where he hadn't evaluated him, he's just like, oh, I haven't done enough tape or haven't seen enough tape to give a fair evaluation. I think he said that about Genty before. I think they asked him about Genty like when he got hired. He's like, no, I haven't watched him. So I think he would say like, I haven't watched him. I think he watched enough of him to say, yeah, I kind of know what he is, and he's tough. He's tough.
Yeah. It's funny because you're not a big Trey Tucker fan. You don't like Trey Tucker at all.
I don't think Trey Tucker I think he's like a 4th, 5th receiver.
Yeah. He's a 4th, 5th receiver. But it's funny though, like when I told Raider Nation that the Raiders have one of the worst receiver cores in the league last year, everybody was like, "What? You're a hater? Like, what are you talking about? We have so and so. We have this. We have that. Dante Thornton is the next Randy Moss. Oh, Jack Besh. All like, and all I was like, hey, look, it sounds good on paper, but in reality, they got to go out and prove it. They have to actually, put their money where their mouth is, man. It's just at the end of the day, like, It is what it is, man. But I think, man, I got a lot to talk about because I want to keep talking about the Clint Kubiak because I want to segue into a big rumor that's going around, or at least being speculated with the Raiders as far as wide receiver. We'll get into that in a second, but so I felt like him talking about the offensive line. Some people were like alluding, like, "Hey, does it mean that he's going to stick with the guys already on the team? He's not going to really try to add any talent or competition to the team." We'll wait and see on that one. I don't think we could say for a fact that that's the case because I think he's just going to play. He's not going to try to say exactly what he's going to do in free agency. The same thing what Spytek did. Like I forgot someone was asking him like, "So what are you going to do in free agency? What are you going to target?" He's like, "I'm not telling you that." It's like
you know who that was, right?
I know what that is, man. Shout out to my guy, man. But I know but it was funny, like the way he reacted to it. He's like, "I'm not gonna tell you that."
It was one of those questions like it's one of those things like you didn't prepare for the test. That's what it look like. Like teacher's like, "So what you like?" Or you didn't do the homework. It's like, what you think about the book? Oh man, it was a good book. It was a good book. Like, bro, that's not the question you asked. Like, that's not my first question. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Who are you drafting? Like,
no, but it's tough though. Like, in them type of situations, you gotta find ways to like be slick with your questions to get an answer where you could try to like, oh, okay, talk about later on. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as easy as it looks. Like, I think.
Well, because you actually have to ask process questions. You have to understand the media. Like anybody that's been doing this long enough, they know GMs are gonna give you GM speak most of the time. But or anybody that's interviewed anybody, right? Like what you want to do is ask them the questions that lets them talk about what they like to do. And so like you ask a process question. I ask a process like, hey, when you were in Tampa Bay, you guys were able to get Bucky Irving in the 5th round. Like how were you able to identify a player of that caliber so late in the draft? And then they can go into like a process. Oh, well, no, part of my evaluation is doing this, and this, and I do that, and that. Or a great question is always, oh, what are the most important characteristics you look for in a player? Obviously, they're gonna be like cookie cutter answer, but it's gonna give you some kind of insight. Like you go with us. Oh, when you like, oh no, in a class on a draft class like this, like kind of like when it's deep at edge and it's kind of shallow on these other positions. If guys have similar grades, do you prefer to go for the guy that's just a better player?
Facts.
Or do you factor in you ask questions like that allows them to add, to go into processes and then you can kind of formulate, okay, this is what makes this guy tick. Like a question like, oh, like who you draft? Like, come on, like it's just like this is a bad question.
How about asking about NIL as the first question?
My God.
They was killing him too. They was killing him in the comments. Salute, man. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Make sure to clock in.
I mean, he was trying to be nice about it too. Like, yeah, man. Hey, he was thinking like, bro, why you ask me this?
Yeah. It was either receivers couldn't consistently get open or the QB had no time.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I think there's a
or they were open and Gino didn't see them. Some of that too.
True. And that's what's hard too. Sometimes like when offensive line is bad, like it's hard to evaluate everybody. But Gino's time is up. I mean, I think they asked Spytek the other day, "Hey, do you talk to Gino?" He's like, "No, I haven't talked to him." Man, if he just came out and said like, "Hey, why?" What happened to
exactly.
Ain't no reason.
They asked Kubiak too. I think Kubiak said he talked to him briefly. And he said he knew him from in Seattle. So he gave a little bit. He was a little more politically correct with his answer.
Yeah, he kept it respectful. Kubiak seemed like a nice guy. Just a nice guy. Salute, man. Appreciate you pulling up. But yeah, I thought another thing that was asked, or I think they asked about like Ashton Genty and what type of like how are they going to deploy the running backs next year? Is it going to be like a workhorse situation with Ashton Genty or multiple back system? And Kubiak came out and said, yeah, it's going to be a 2-back system. So when you hear that, you're just like, you know what I mean? Hell no, to the no. I already know, Severe, you were just like, what? Like, huh? You know what I mean? Like,
huh? Soldier Boy, tell him, huh?
You draft a running back number 6, man, and you finding ways not to give him the rock. Like, you know, we'll see. He says 2-back system, but that means that you would have to get. Man, I'm hoping it's a situation where it's like you just get a guy that complements him, because we know that the running back room, we need some depth. That was like, because it was just Genty, and then like everybody else was kind of like, you didn't know who was going to get the ball after.
Cheeks.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You know what I
mean? Then nobody deserved it.
Maybe at times, you know, Mostert kind of flashed a little bit. He had his moments where Mostert did some things. But then outside of that, it was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, if Genty gets hurt, it's like, it's over. Or if, you know, you want a change of pace, I don't know if we had that. Mostert's kind of he's up there in age. He's like, what, over 30 years old, I think. So I'm not sure if he's gonna hang on. I don't know if he's gonna continue to play. If they bring him back, I wouldn't be mad, but I still think that he didn't look too bad, but because they had him in special teams too, and he kind of like, oh, okay, he didn't look too bad, like in special teams.
Not too bad.
But it would make sense. I get it, to go younger, you know what I mean, and find someone like that. And I kind of threw out a name. Shout out to my guy Ray. He talked about it before too, or he actually texted me about this. He was like, Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell, and I was like thinking about. I was like, you know what? I like that, because I don't think he's gonna break the bank. That's what I'm looking at. Like he's just been a guy that's been part of a running back room, never the main guy, speedy guy, hasn't had big production. If someone gives him a big contract, good luck to you. That's not going to be the Raiders. But he's like what, 20 under, like he's at least like what? I don't think he's no older. I don't think he's older than 25. I think he's a young player. But what I'm saying, he complements what Genty does. Like Genty likes that, he wants to run that physical brand of football, right? And then you got like you know, you got someone like Mitchell who's going to try to break it to the outside. He's going to try to like make a couple of cuts and then boom, you know, try to make a big play out of that. And I think that'd be a nice compliment to what we already have in Genty. But that's how I want the Raiders to address the running back room. The 2-back system, I don't know. Does that mean that he's going to get someone of Genty's caliber, or just a little bit? Like, what are we doing here? Are we going to be drafting a running back? Are we going to be prioritizing a running back in free agency? These are things that I don't want us to do at all. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, what was your take when you heard Clint Kubiak say that?
When I heard Clint Kubiak say that, my take was we wasted a draft pick, drafting a running back at number 6. That's what my immediate reaction was. You know, we wasted a draft pick. The whole reason I didn't want to pay Josh Jacobs is because, like, look, man, I don't want a workhorse single back system. I wanted a 2-back system with 2 guys that are, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be equally talented. You know, obviously there could be a guy that is the lead back, but a back that's still really good that complements him. And then, you know, you can roll with the hot hand. Okay, if this guy has it going this game, okay, I'm gonna keep feeding this guy the rock because he has a hot hand. Another guy has it going, okay, I'm gonna feed him the rock. He has a hot hand, and it's a very low impact in terms of your salary cap, right? You get these 2 guys, low impact on your salary cap. You get 2 guys that are productive, keep them both fresh throughout the year. You have insurance in case one of them gets injured, and you can have, you know, a guy on the practice squad or your 3rd back there just waiting in the wings just in case one of those guys get hurt. That's what I wanted. That's why I was like, don't pay Josh Jacobs. I wasn't in favor of not paying Josh Jacobs and then drafting a running back and paying him the 2nd most guaranteed money in the league. Then a year after we draft him, saying, well, damn, we need another running back. Like we could have got 2 last year in the mid rounds and been cool, and been good, like been set, been more than cool, and we elected not to do that. So I was like, it makes no sense. And then just looking at the carries from all the guys. So Genty last year he had 266 carries, played all 17 games. Kenneth Walker had 221 through 17 games, and Zach Charbonnet had 184 in 16 games. So, like Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, they were like really close in terms of the number of carries. So if it's going to be that same level of distribution, then it's like, bro, like what the hell are we doing? The main difference is, and this is a huge difference. And I don't want to mitigate this or diminish this at all. The main difference is Kenneth Walker has some of the worst hands I've ever seen in my life. Like, there are babies with better hands than Kenneth Walker. His hands are terrible. And Genty has good hands. He's a natural pass catcher. You can use him, and some of the stuff that Kubiak was doing last year, he was doing like some swing stuff with the running back, running out, and they did it against the Rams, and then they end up having to change it the next time they played the Rams, and they did it with JSN because they had to respect JSN as a receiver. But now, if you run some of those same actions with Genty, they have to respect Genty as a receiver. And if they don't respect Genty as a receiver, he's way more inclined to hurt you than Kenneth Walker is. So that's one thing where you can kind of see Genty will be more productive as a pass catcher. So if you can go 2 backs, and you can have, hey, I have 2 backs, and maybe a team comes out in their sub, not a sub pack, but they're straight 4-3, and then you motion Genty out wide to the slot, and now you got Genty one-on-one with a linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that you can win that matchup, and then you still got a running threat in the backfield, and so you can do some creative stuff. So that's one thing you kind of take solace in. Okay, maybe Genty's impact in the pass game will be greater, but the fact that we're still like, okay, we just dropped the running back at 6, passing up on guys like Tetaroa, passing up on Mimbu, passing up on Kelvin Banks, like passing up on all these players, and then missing out on running backs that went later, like Quinchon and Travion and Cal Manunge and like all these other guys that were pretty solid. CJ, like all these other guys that were pretty solid, pretty productive. It's like it just makes that draft pick look even more unintelligent than it did at that particular time.
Yeah, nah, I don't like it. I don't like it if it's going to be a situation where it's going to eat at, Genty's carries where you're taking him off the field. But to your point though, like Genty did a lot of stuff this year on the positive side where he proved that you don't have to take him off the field. When it comes to pass protection, when it comes to, catching passes off the backfield, being durable, being available all 17 games. So he kind of proved that, hey, look, he could be available. He's a guy that can be counted on. But my thing is, I just don't like the idea of taking away carries away from Genty, unless like there's another back that's just as talented, if not more talented than Genty. And I don't know who's gonna be that. And I don't even think that the Raiders should even. And if the Raiders have to like spend money or a high draft pick to get another running back to get of that caliber, then what are we doing here? I don't think there's anybody. I mean, I threw in a Keaton Mitchell, but I looked at him as more of like a complimentary back, a guy that's like a role player. You come in, you could run some of those outside zones with him, and like you could do a lot of those outside runs with him because he has the speed to like really make a defense pay. Which that's what he's shown in his career. That's cool. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But if you're gonna like really take away Genty's carries, who's gonna be that back? Who's gonna be that second back? Are they gonna go after Kenneth Walker? Are they really about to go after Kenneth Walker? Nah, come on now. I'm not gonna believe it. I gotta believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think that makes any sense.
That'd be too much money. Like I've actually Kenneth Walker would be a really good complimentary pack to Aston Genty, but it's just too much money to be paying in the running back position.
Wait, how much is he gonna pay? He's looking for a payday. He's probably gonna get upwards of at least $10 million.
Yeah,
And that's,
he's probably looking for like 11, 12, especially after winning Super Bowl MVP, having a pretty good year.
right. Like at least 3-year deal, upwards of 10. Like, come on, let's not do that. You're already paying Genty the amount of money he's getting paid based off his rookie deal. So doesn't make any sense. I think the Kubiak thing, I can see how it's gonna be blown out of proportion just because like, and I think would you say Spytek will probably bring a lot of, you think Spytek will come into the room and be like, you know what, Kubiak, we did draft this guy number 6 overall, like
But do you want that?
We'll get you another back, but the majority of carries are going to be going to Genty, and then we'll try to make it, you could try to make it work where you can bring in other guys in that running back room to get some carries. But at the end of the day, like, this is the guy that, we drafted number 6 overall. Like, the Spytek come into play when he in that situation? I mean, because he said it real confident too. Like, yeah, 2-back system. Like,
yeah. See, the thing that's dangerous with that is that, do you want that? Do you want Spytek coming back there and kind of not necessarily dictating, but being highly suggestive about what a coach you hired because of his scheme and because of his offense, like coming in there and trying to kind of dictating like what he does. Like, I think that's dangerous.
Yep.
I'm trying to look at what Alvin Kamara did with Kubiak there. So Alvin Kamara, when Kubiak was there, he ran the ball. Well, see, he only played 14 games. He ran the ball 228 times. So you kind of I don't know. I don't remember who their other back was. Damn, who was their other back? I think he was somebody else too. I don't remember who the other back was, but like so it's looking like he's keeping his lead back and kind of in that range. And the other guy is getting a nice heavy workload as well. And you think of Alvin Kamara, you think about him as also a guy that's heavily involved in the passing game too. So that year he had 68 catches in 6 games. 14 games rather, 543 yards as a pass catcher. So he's a guy that I don't know, man. I don't know. It just
he had a more balanced approach this year when it came to running and passing. Like, it was like, obviously it was probably more passing. It's a passing league. It's probably more passing than running. But
no, he was exactly even. He was exactly
50%?
even.
50%? Is that 50?
Yeah, for Kubiak? Yeah, he was exactly even.
Oh, 50. I know he was damn, 50.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was exactly even in terms. So like that's what he wants to do. So
well, that's what got him a top offense in the NFL was like, all these accolades was because of how balanced he was. In years past, he was more of like a pass-heavy guy. Yeah. Maybe that's because of personnel too.
True.
Maybe it could have been personnel because you look at the Saints, they kind of were probably built to pass. I mean, Kamara, you could say he probably could run. You could run the ball.
Carr got hurt.
Yeah, Carr got hurt. Yeah, Carr got hurt. But yeah, man, that's something to keep an eye on, man. Who's gonna be that second back? Now that he's come out and said it, now we're gonna be looking at like, all right, who's gonna be the second back? Who's gonna be part of this 2-back system that Kubiak is talking about? So we'll pay attention to that. We'll also pay attention to like if they're gonna pick up any offensive linemen in free agency, because even though I'm not taking it too serious and how he's trying to hype up the guys already on the roster, I'm still gonna be like, that's gonna be a big storyline. Is like, hey, look, this entire offseason is like, how are the Raiders going to fix the offensive line? It started with, I guess you can say, the biggest, probably to me, the second biggest hire, obviously Kubiak, the head coach. But after Kubiak, I know everybody's like, well, the DC. Nah, for me, it's offensive line coach. Just because the last few years, how the offensive line has been looking, and we got to make sure that we get a guy that's experienced, a teacher, and we got that in Rick and Dennison. So
that's my favorite hire so far.
Yep.
Is OC under Mike Shanahan and under Gary Kubiak. Yep. Won a Super Bowl. I think won a Super Bowl under both of them.
Facts. And the thing is too, there's some value in having a guy that experienced as a position coach.
For sure.
Think about Rob Marinelli, former D-line coach, who for Tampa Bay all those years and like, you know, respected around the league, what he did for Max Crosby. You know what I mean? And I remember Max saying like, man, like, Rod, man, he's such a great coach. I just remember like he was just getting on him like just really hard as far as like whatever he was doing in practice. And like, you know, Max like, what's going on? But like, why are you making it seem like I'm messing up or whatever the case may be, right? I'm paraphrasing, right? And Max was, Rod was like, you said you wanted to go to the Hall of Fame. You wanted to be a great player. This is how I coached great players.
Exactly. Right. That's how I coached, you know, Warren Sapp and, you know, Simeon Rice and Javon. Like,
Exactly. So having a guy like that that's experienced, that's been there, done that as a position coach, you know, I don't mind a 68-year-old position coach.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind that. Head coach, you know, I'm kind of, I don't know.
It's different.
Yeah, it's a little different, you know what I mean? You know that you're right at the edge. It's not Pete Carroll edge though. It's not. We're not at Pete Carroll territory. But
Not yet.
60. That's crazy. He's 68, and Pete had him by like 6-7 years.
It's ridiculous,
man.
Ridiculous. I'm trying to think because Tom Moore forever. Think about Tom Moore forever with the coach, right? Yeah, he was a senior offensive coordinator for 10 years, but after that, he stayed on and he was just he was a offensive assistant.
I like that for sure.
So I'm good with that. I'm good with that experienced guy, especially since like you think about, because you talked about offensive line. He said he was solidified. He said Colton Miller is the left tackle. Bam, solidified. He's like basically everything else was fluid, right? But he gave some props to some guys, and I think like I think offensive line we definitely need upgrades. But I don't think it's as bad as it looks last year. I think there was a lot of meddling, and there's a lot of, you know, Brennan and Pete Carroll trying to reinvent the wheel and put their stamp on the team. And instead of just doing what was right by the players that they have, they tried to make people fit into, you know, they tried to make round pegs fit into square holes, and it just didn't work out. So I think if you have a more experienced guy, somebody that's been teaching this zone system for a while, and I actually think some of our guys fit the zone system well. Colton Miller, he's very athletic for a left tackle. I think he fits it well. JPJ, we see how JPJ moves. If he can just, you know, just stay healthy, I think that's a big thing for him. Even Jordan Meredith, he's a little bit undersized at guard, but, you know, like that's what Denver kind of was known for, right? The guards were undersized, but they were very mobile, very smart, had great technique, worked with great pad level. I think Jordan Meredith can do that at guard. He showed that down the stretch. Now, obviously, we still need, you know, upgrade at the other guard spot, or even over Meredith if we want to. Mm-hmm. We're hoping Caleb Rogers can be a guy that can do that. If we get a legit right tackle, or if we figure that, you know, we want to kick Charles Grant out there, and if we feel he can hold down the job, then you can kick a guy like Glaze inside, where, you know, he's a little bit less of a liability than he was at right tackle. Even though he did do a solid job at right tackle as a rookie, you want to kick him inside. That fixes your guard problem right there. You have Caleb and you have Glaze, so then your entire offensive line at that point, outside of Colton Miller, you know, is fairly young. But like I said, if they find some upgrades out there, go for it.
Yeah, nah, we'll see. Well, like I said, man, we do have some young pieces on the offensive line, but I still want us to add some veteran competition. I don't want us to like rely on just because we're losing. All right, we're losing. We're losing. We're not going to have a left guard. Does JPJ stay at right guard, or does he go to center? You know what I mean?
I'll put him back at center. Yeah, I'd put him back at center.
You put him back at center, but what's happening right now is that this is a good center draft, and we're seeing a few teams kind of releasing some centers. So there's going to be some centers available in free agency. We've kind of seen it with the Titans. I believe they released their starting center. The Commanders just recently they released their starting center as well, who has like 31 starts over the last 2 seasons. So he's experienced. He just wasn't a good fit of what they were doing with the Commanders. I believe with Kingsbury, I think they run like a gap scheme. He's more of a zone guy. Guess what? The Raiders are going to be running a zone scheme, so it might be a good fit. So
where does their new OC run?
Their new OC, who did they hire as offense coordinator?
I don't remember.
I know they were interviewing a few people. I know they interviewed A few people
I think he's a young guy too.
Let me see. Commanders. That's a good point. Commanders. OC. Let's see who it is. David. Oh, okay. David Blow. David Blow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
So he might have been the QB coach.
Yeah, I remember I was thinking there was going to be a bigger name than that, but yeah.
They gave him a promotion.
Yeah, they gave him a promotion.
So he was the QB coach and they gave him a promotion. But I remember them interviewing a few offensive coordinator candidates. So I guess they went in-house with it. But yeah, I think my guy Raider Nation 510, man, appreciate you pulling up. I guess it's a good segue, man. He says Brian Thomas Jr. plus Dante Thornton. Dante Thornton, I hope he has a great offseason and makes some improvements. We're going to see. Brian Thomas Jr., that's interesting because that's like a rumor, or not even a rumor. I think Dan Graziano, I think he came out for ESPN. He was like implying that, you know, the Raiders would be one of those teams interested in trading for Brian Thomas Jr. Right now, it's kind of more of a speculation report, but we kind of heard that name kind of connected to the Raiders. I think Raider fans have kind of talked about Brian Thomas Jr., especially during the season. There was some rumors that made it seem like the Jaguars might have possibly traded him at the trade deadline. My thing is this. He had a great rookie season. 80-plus catches, 1,200-plus yards, 10-plus touchdowns, or at least 10 touchdowns. So he balled out his rookie year. He balled out. Second year, there was a struggle there. There's a disconnect. There's a struggle. He didn't, you know, he had a sophomore slump, to say the least. He's going into his third year. And like, what does a trade look like for a player like that? Especially when the team that drafted him is essentially saying, we give up. We're giving up on this experiment, the Brian Thomas Jr. experiment. That's kind of interesting when a Liam Coleman, an offensive-minded head coach, comes in there and takes them to the playoffs, you know, kind of like revitalizes Trevor Lawrence's career. He has a solid year. Jacoby Myers comes in there in a trade and he balls out from he contributes from day one. They had another young receiver who's developed, I think Parker Washington, who's developed some chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. Exactly, so I don't know what's going on. Like I have more questions than answers with this whole situation with Brian Thomas Jr. and Jaguars. My thing is that I don't want to trade for a player. I don't want the Raiders to trade for a player that is someone else's mistake, possibly. I don't want to take that risk. On paper, I'm like, it's intriguing. It's like, man, he's like, what, 6'3", 6'4". We know he was part of that talented wide receiver core in LSU. Him and
Malik
Neighbors. And they both balled out their rookie year.
Yeah.
He has the look of a number one wide receiver, like, you know, all the tools that he needs to be. He has that. He's shown that he could be productive in his rookie year. The second year, it didn't work out, but the team that drafted him is saying, okay, I'm cool. Like, we're willing to trade him and just end this whole experiment. So, you know, maybe this is the Raider trauma. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the Raider trauma. Maybe this is like, I don't want to take the risk. For me, I would trade for him, but it wouldn't be higher than a third-round pick. I don't want to trade a first-round pick, obviously. I wouldn't trade a second-round pick for him. No, I'm not doing it. For me, personally, I don't want to do it. Why can't you be productive in Liam Coleman's system? Well, Liam Coleman, like, why can't you be productive with everybody else is? But not Brian Thomas Jr. Why you can't do anything in it? Like, what's going on? Like, Is it just you button heads with coaches? That's another reason to be concerned. Like, oh damn, like are you a head case? Like, see, like all I'm saying, there's more questions about Brian Thomas Jr. Like everybody's just jumping at the like, oh yeah, we should trade for him, but they're not asking questions like, why are the Jaguars trading a young player on a rookie deal with the traits and measurables and the stats that he put up his rookie year? Like, why would you go for a guy like that? Or why would you trade for a guy? Why wouldn't you trade? Why would you trade a guy like that? So my thing is that the Raiders, if they trade for a guy like that, no, it shouldn't be higher than the 3rd round pick. Personally, I know the Jaguars are gonna be like, nah, we want a 2nd round. They're gonna try to get the best deal possible, and I know a team is they're gonna jump at it and they're gonna give them like a 2nd round pick. I think there's gonna be a team that's giving a 2nd round pick.
Yeah,
but I don't want to take that risk though.
There's probably gonna be a team that gives them a 2nd round pick, and it should be the Raiders. It should be the Raiders. It should be the Raiders. Are there concerns there? Yeah, because obviously Jacoby kind of came in and took his spot. Parker Washington, nobody expected him to blow up like he did. And then the rumors are that they're moving Trav. They're doing with Trav what I said they should have did with Travis Hunter in the beginning. That is, play him at cornerback full time and have a package of plays for him at wide receiver. So they're losing Trav as a wide receiver, and for them to be willing to trade Brian Thomas Jr. Does that raise your antennas a little bit? Yes, but this is Liam Cohen on offense. This is not the GM that drafted him. This is not the head coach that drafted him. These are two different guys. So like Liam Cohen and this GM, they have no attachment to what he did as a rookie. They only have attachment to what he did last year when he struggled. And he had, I think one of the worst drop rates in the league, or might have been the worst drop rate in the league. And could it be a sophomore slump situation? Yes. But I know this. I know that as a rookie, he was the 2nd best wide receiver the 2nd best rookie wide receiver that year, only to Malik Neighbors, who was, the best pass catcher in that draft, in my opinion, with Brock being a very close 2nd, and then Brian Thomas was a close 3rd, and then Odunze was like a distant. It wasn't even Odunze even up there. Now I think it was somebody else over him, but yet and still, he was incredibly productive. I know at the NFL level, I know what I'm going to get out of. I know what I could potentially get out of Brian Thomas Jr. I've seen him do it. It was there. It was clear and evident. And I think there was a case. Some people were making that he was the best wide receiver to come out of that class, and there was a legitimate case that could have been made for that. So when you have that available, and you have that available for a 2nd round pick in a free agency class that's extremely weak at wide receiver, and where you're possibly thinking about taking a wide receiver in the 2nd round anyway, like, why not do it? People were talking about paying Alec Pierce $20 million a year. Okay, I can pay Alec Pierce $20 million a year, or I can draft Brian Thomas and have him on a rookie deal for the next 3 years. Or I can take a chance and I can hope Denzel Boston is available in the 2nd round, which if he runs well, he's not going to be. I can hope that Zachariah Branch is there, and I can hope that Kubiak can do with Zachariah Branch what a lot of people think is a slot. He can do with him what he did with JSN, what a lot of people thought was a slot, and he played like 80% of his snaps this past year on the outside and was the best receiver in the league. I can hope that Zachariah Branch can be our JSN, but that's an unknown commodity. I've seen Brian Thomas Jr. do it. So would I be and Brian Thomas Jr., just as a prospect, he's better than anybody that we would get in the 2nd round this year anyway. Brian Thomas was legit a top 15 prospect in that class. So it's like, I'm going to be able to get this guy for a 2nd round pick and have him on a cheap deal for 3 years. I'm doing it. And put him with Fernando Mendoza. I'm doing it.
Yeah, the talent is intriguing. I just don't. There's a lot of questions that I have. this is just either the Jaguars are the dumbest team in NFL history, like the dumbest team in NFL history, because they're giving away talent like that, especially a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. I think they drafted him in the first round guy, and that first round guy,
Trent Baalke drafted him.
Yeah, but that first round guy was able to give you 80 catches, 1,200 yards, 1,200 plus yards, 80 plus catches, and 10 touchdowns, at least 10 touchdowns. That has to have some type of value. Like, are they either that dumb or we're missing something that is not being talked about here that might be risky for the Raiders to do, because he's bumping heads with a coaching staff. Maybe he's bumping heads with the regime there with the Jaguars. Like, and now you want to come to Vegas and like with the new young coach in Kubiak and like a young quarterback like, you know, Mendoza. Like, I feel like the Raiders got to do their due diligence. They got to figure out that whole situation. Yeah. But second round to me is too. I'll say third. Third is like, all right. Third is still a gamble. It's still a gamble.
They're not doing it for a third though. Like, if like it's like you're not. It's not gonna happen. If you're stuck on third, they're just like, bro, we'll just keep them. I don't think they're gonna move for a third. I think second. I think they're gonna ask for it first. They're not gonna get it.
Or this. How about this? This is actually shout out to my guy May Spitfire. I think he brought it up. Saw an article saying the Raiders wanted 2 first rounders and a player for Max. Per some insider, whatever that means. If they traded him, you think, okay, you're just talking about the Max trade. But Joel, I think me and him on the same page. Max for Brian Thomas first and second. You're doing it. So what happens if Jaguars come calling and say, you know what, hey, we'll give you 2 firsts for Max and Brian Thomas.
2 first and Brian Thomas? I'm taking that. I'm taking it all day.
I'm taking it. I'm taking that deal.
I might take this. I'll probably take this deal too. First and the second, but where the Jaguars picking?
Somewhere in the bottom of the first. They went to the playoffs last year. And then you would have to bet on them having a terrible year to follow up this year, which could, you know, injuries happen.
Well, no, but it'll be a first this year, first and second this year. So
it would be somewhere in the 20, probably 25 to 32, somewhere around there.
Because they went to the playoffs. They didn't win the playoffs.
Yeah, like
they won a game
between 20 and 32 to just play it safe. I don't know the exact, but I think it's 25 to 32. Yeah, they went to the playoffs.
Yeah. Did they win a playoff game? I don't remember it. Now I think they lost week 1. They lost in the war.
So
they lost.
They might be 25 or 24 or something like that.
But I just think that the new GM has no attachment to Brian Thomas Jr. at all, and he's thinking like, look, how can I mold this team in my image? And you know,
but that's so stupid. You don't just give away talent.
Teams do it all the time. The Commanders just cut their starting center. It's like they teams do it all the time.
I know, but then like he was stuck in a system that didn't fit his skill set, and then on top of that, the draft has a whole bunch of good centers, or we don't know how it's going to turn out for them in their career, but like there's some talent at the center position in the upcoming draft, so you could make sense of it, and it's a center. Like it's not like he's an all-pro center. It's not like he's not a center that's like 21 years old and still on a rookie deal. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a veteran guy that, you know, you can easily replace something. We're talking your former first round pick and Brian Thomas Jr. is not going to get cut. He's not going to get released.
No, it's not going to get rid of. But that's my point though, is that like they're not releasing him, they're trading him.
Yeah.
So you're getting like you cut a starting center that had been a full game, started every game that he played his career since his first year.
Hey, then Greg says Jaguars don't have a first round pick this. They don't pick until the second.
They don't, because they traded it for Trav. Oh yeah, bro. So yeah, not happening. Not happening. Yeah, not happening. So that's another reason. That's another reason, because they gave up a big haul to move up for Trav. So they're trying to recoup some of those draft picks right now. So that's another reason that could go into the equation why they want to trade him, because the GM wants more picks to help build the team, and he's trying to build around Trevor Lawrence. He has Parker Washington who played well. He has Jacoby Myers who played well. So he's trying to recoup some of those losses, and like their best asset right now to trade is Brian Thomas Jr. So I can see that. I can see that. I mean, look, I think that's a come up. I think it's one of those situations where we trade a second round pick for him. That's a massive come up for a guy at that age, still in his rookie deal, that showed he can do what he can do at the NFL level. And I think he's a guy that fits well and that can fit well in the system and work well with Mendoza. He's working outside the numbers. Like I think that's a match made in heaven.
I don't think. All right, so Pelis, this is, I guess this, I'll try to connect this to what we're talking about. Tom Pelissero, insider, was talking about the Max Crosby, trade rumors and all that good stuff, and he said something. He kind of was trying to break down if he was going to get traded this offseason. And he was just like, well, and if the Raiders are actually calling teams to trade Max Crosby, he was like, well, the Raiders are not calling nobody. Teams are calling them. So they don't have to come out and say anything. They're just listening to the offers. And then when other teams call and they put a trade offer out there, they could just be like, well, so-and-so said they're willing to give this. How do you feel about that? Like, so they're just listening and then just telling teams what other teams are going to offer for Max until someone says the right deal.
Exactly.
So,
and look, that could be completely fabricated too. Like they don't have to say that they get, because they're not going to say what team, because then the GM will call the team and be like, "What are you?" He's like, "Look, I have an offer right now on the table for him for 2 first-round picks."
Yeah.
Like, so are you willing to beat that? Are you willing to, like, hey, no, you're picking ahead of that team? Are you willing to match that trade? If not, okay, cool. Then I'm not, and it could be a complete lie, but it could be a complete lie. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to play the game, and that's why people go, "Oh, they're not trading Max Crosby." You heard him say it. He's not trading. Bro, what do you expect him to say? That he's going to say, he's going to make it say, "Oh my God, this is the most important player in our organization."
Yeah.
He is the most valuable player I've ever been around, and I would hate to lose that. He's an elite player.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give up on an elite player. Okay, yeah, I'm letting all you teams that's calling me, y'all better not come over here with no nonsense. Not come up here with, okay, I give you one first in the 4th round. Nah, bro, don't call me with no BS like that. This is starting at this. It's starting at 2 first. That's where I'm starting. And if you ain't willing to give that up, hey, don't call me, because there's people that are willing to give that up, and you tied up my phone lines.
Right. So the Raiders are trying to maximize that's their way of indirectly trying to maximize the deal for, like, to see if they would trade him, because every player has a price, no matter how good they are.
Oh, yeah.
There's only like, and that's what he said in the interview too, is like there's only like maybe 20 players out of 1,800 players in the NFL that are untradeable. Like teams are not going to look to, like they're not even going to listen to an offer, but everybody else, they're going to have a price. Max is a 29-year-old, or at least he's going to turn 29 this year, year-old pass rusher. He also said he's probably not going to fetch the same offer as Micah Parsons, because Micah Parsons was like 25, 26 when he got traded.
Yeah.
And they're going to use that as a barometer, like, hey, look, Micah Parsons is 25 years old. He has 4 years. He's 4 years younger than Max. So they have more years of productivity that you're going to get out of Micah Parsons if he's healthy, right? So they're going to look at it from that perspective. Like Max, maybe, 3 to 4 really good years in his prime left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's longer than that, then it would be the exception to the rule. But that's how they're going to come at it. So if he's not going to get the same offer from Micah Parsons, or that he's not going to get the Micah Parsons trade, if the Raiders are not going to get that type of trade compensation, 2 firsts and a player, then what would make sense for Max Crosby? Would it be even? Is it worth it? Still, because it still would be a first-round pick. It might not. It might be 1 first-round pick, or it just might be 2 first-round picks, and that's it. I'm probably going to take the 2 first-round picks. I'm
taking the 2 first-round picks.
I'm taking the first-round picks.
I would like 2 first and something else.
But it might be 1. I think it's going to be 1. It's going to be 1 first-round pick.
Because what did Micah go for? What did Micah get traded for? Because Micah, it's only 2 years, 2 year age difference.
Hold on 1 second. Yo, what's good, man? Who's name? Where you calling from?
Yo, this is the coach sipping Jamba Juice.
We got Coach.
We got Coach in the building, man. Appreciate you calling in, man. First time hearing you calling in. You talking a lot of mess in the chat too.
I just want to know. I want to know what the hell is Severe's beef.
Look, man.
What do you have against the man?
Tommy Eichenberg about to be working at Avis in the next 2 years. Right?
Oh, please. I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear. No, I ain't trying to hear none of that.
He gonna be doing the podcast. What's that linebacker we had? He gonna be doing the podcast. What's my guy's name? Man, you know what I'm talking about.
You talking about YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Are you talking about?
And now Severe's trying to go off on Genty. Now his new fascination is on Genty. Genty be putting in work.
Where?
Man, I just don't. I don't. Oh, wait. Where?
Where is he putting in work?
This man had to deal with the worst line in the league. The worst line. And he almost hit 1,000 yards.
Saquon had to deal with one of the worst offensive lines in the league too, and he put up 2,000 all-purpose yards as a rookie. Corey Dillon was dealing with one of the worst offensive lines in the league when he got drafted to the Bengals. Put up 1,500 yards as a rookie, 4.8 yards per carry as a rookie to the Bengals organization, one of the worst run franchises in the league. So you guys telling me he's generational, he's drafted top 10, and then say, oh, well, he's not good because the players around him aren't good. Well, we drafted you to elevate the players around you. So you're telling me you're not capable of doing that now? That we shouldn't have drafted you top 10?
Well, he's going to go off for 2,000 yards next season.
I hope you win the Super Bowl in your franchise mode on Madden when he does that.
Oh, man. You see this? Severe shouldn't be on this show. He's you know what? I think the circus is in town. Why don't you try there? Try applying there. Yeah. You know, my kid. I'm looking for a clown for my kid's birthday party.
Hey, Genty already got the outfits for it, so I got.
Oh no!
Genty got the outfits for it already, bro. I'll put you in contact with him.
Oh man, damn! He went all the way there. Genty though, he probably has one of the worst fits in the NFL. Worst fits. But not like it matters, man. It matters on the football field. But what's going on, Coach, man? You got any thoughts on what's happening so far with the Raider offseason? I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Man, the most important thing, they're switching to 3-4, right? So it's going to be Ami, and they need 3 linebackers that can play with him on that defense.
Oh man, you a big Eichenberg fan for real?
Of course, man. Where have you been? Were you born yesterday? Yes.
Yeah,
Coach is troll, man. He be trolling, man.
Coach had to. Did you coach Tommy Eichenberg in football?
Generational troll. Generational. I think he might be generational.
Did you coach him in youth football? Do you know him personally?
That's a generational talent on that defense. Right?
No, you do.
Coach is trolling.
I can't help you, right? I can coach you to my optometrist, but I'm not sure if he can help you, all right? He's a generational talent. I ain't showing nothing.
He said he's generational.
I'm gonna let you guys get back to your show.
That's crazy, man.
Severe's got to clean up his act, all right? Severe's got to clean it up.
No, man. We appreciate you tuning in, man. Watching the show, man.
I don't like Tommy Eichenberg. That's the only reason he's mad at me. He don't care about Genty like that. It's the Tommy Eichenberg stuff that gets him.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
True.
My guy, Coach, man.
But Coach, man, appreciate you watching the show, man, and supporting as always, man.
Facts.
All right.
All right, bro.
Coach ain't gonna watch it. We gonna have a guest next week, and Coach gonna turn it off next week. I ain't watching this nonsense.
Oh man, hey, Coach finally called in, man. Appreciate him calling in.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, but now just to go back to the Brian Thomas situation, because that's a kind of an interesting trade scenario is with the Jaguars. I would be open to that. If we can get some type of like first round, obviously we got to get like at least a first round pick. If the reality situation is first, second, and Brian Thomas Jr., I'm not mad at that.
I'm mad at that. Well, see, like I'm not mad at.
I wanted 2 first. I really wanted 2 first, but it's just when you put it this way, when you say Micah Parsons, 25-year-old Micah Parsons only fetched 2 first-round picks and a starting defensive tackle, you're like, dang, like.
Yeah, no, but don't we can't do that.
Because look, whether
he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Yeah. Kenny Clark is legit one of the best. He's a top 10 for sure defensive tackle in the league. Probably like 7-ish.
Okay,
and you could go really.
So you're saying that the trade package could have easily been 3 first-round picks for Micah Parsons.
Yeah. And look, another difference is that so the age gap is only 2 years. It's only 2 years. Michael Parsons is about to turn 20. I think he's about to turn 27. About to turn 27 in May. So it's 2 years age gap. And Michael Parsons was coming he was coming off they're both coming off injuries. I think Michael Parsons was coming off a more serious injury. But Michael Parsons, when you traded him, you knew that you had to pay him immediately. You had to give him a fat contract immediately. Max, you got 2 years to kind of play around with, where he's on a very affordable deal, and with the way that the salary cap has been going up over the past few years, his deal is going to look even more affordable in those 2 years. So he ain't breaking the bank just yet. So you got one of the a top 5-ish defensive end in the league on a very affordable deal for 2 years. And if you feel like you're a contender, your window is wide open, like. I don't think they'll do it, but a team like Chicago, why wouldn't Chicago do it?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, look. All right, look at it this way. I
wouldn't want them. They pick too low.
They pick too low, but it's not even just about pick too low too. For the Jaguars, let's say, because that's how this conversation started. They don't have a first round pick this year.
Exactly. So that's non-starter.
Unless this is hypothetical. This is not gonna happen, But imagine if they were like second round pick this year, next 2 first, and Brian Thomas Jr. That would be like,
oh, you do that immediately, bro.
See, that's La La Land right there, man. But that's easy. That's easy right there. But every other team, I mean, I could see Detroit. I could see Detroit doing it. I could see the Bears doing it. The 49ers have been heavily like. I think I'm sure they're calling in.
Oh, man. See, the 49ers give up a second round pick quick. They'll give a second round pick. That's what I'm saying. Like, they'll give up a second round pick. Oh, talking about for Max?
For Max.
Or for Brian Thomas?
For
Max.
For Max.
See, I don't think the Raiders would do that. Me personally, I don't get into all this. I don't want to see him in this, in that, in another team. I don't give a damn, bro. Who gonna give me the best deal? As long as it's not in my division.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in my division, who giving me the best deal?
Yeah.
I
don't want Max to go to the Broncos. I don't want Max to go to Chargers. I don't want Max to go to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would never trade a player like that in division. Like you don't do that.
Yeah, it's just not smart.
But anywhere else, hey, who got the best deal?
Unless the Chiefs want to give us the next like 3 to 4 first round picks,
they give us. Hey, look, one of those teams give us 3 first. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it.
I'll do it easy.
Deal with it.
Yeah. But just to go back to the Brian Thomas, you said second round pick. You'll do it easily.
I'll do a second round pick, man. Cause like what receiver that we're gonna get in the second round is better than Brian Thomas Jr.
Denzel, maybe Denzel Boston.
I don't think he's better than Brian Thomas Jr. He's not better as a prospect than Brian Thomas Jr. And we already seen what Brian Thomas Jr. can do in the league. He was one of the best. He would put up like top 10 receiver numbers as a rookie.
Yeah, but something I don't know. I just don't want to risk it though. Like why are the Jaguars trading him? Why the Raiders got to figure that part out. Why are the Jaguars trading him?
Part of the reason because they don't have no picks in this draft class.
Yeah, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Because he's on a rookie deal. You got cheap. You got a talent. Okay, let's say he's talented, right? You got a talented player on a cheap contract. That's worth a lot. And that's why, to me, that's why you keep guys. You got to keep guys on cheap contracts. That's how you build out good teams.
Yeah, but they could be thinking, look, we get a second round pick for him, at least, and then there's some other guys out there. Maybe they're looking at, maybe they think their window to contend is open right now, and they bring in a guy like Mike Evans.
Yeah.
They do something like that where it's like, okay, we got an older guy, but we know he's a veteran guy. Obviously Liam Coleman will have great familiarity with them because he had him in Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. And, he doesn't have to move far because Jacksonville is not that, it's not. Florida's a big ass state, but, he's still in the state of Florida. He's very familiar with Florida as a person. So, that could be a deal that happens where, okay, you bring in a Mike Evans, you trade this guy for a second round pick, and you add something somewhere else. Maybe you add on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe you add a tight end, you do something like that, so where they're like, look, I'm losing this young guy, but I think I have a window right now to win. Yeah. And if they feel that window's open right now, they strike while they just saw what Seattle was able to do. And it was wide open. It was wide open.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see how it shakes out. I mean, there's a few teams that's connected to Brian Thomas Jr. And right now it's kind of speculation. Dan Graziano, he just connected the dots with teams that need a wide receiver, outside receiver specifically, an ex-wide receiver, a number one wide receiver, guy that with that level, that potential, we don't have that on the roster. Dante Thornton is not that. Jack Besh is not that. Trey Tucker is not that. If nobody's that on the Raiders roster.
And he immediately puts those guys in their roles.
Yep.
Okay, you got Brian Thomas Jr. on outside. Okay, you can let Jack Besh be the slot guy, be the kind of the move around wide receiver, and you can do him like Brian Thomas Jr. and Brock with Mendoza.
Q said on his mention on Locked On Raiders that Brian Thomas doesn't like running routes over the middle. You see,
but guess what? Fernando Mendoza doesn't throw the ball over the middle of the field either. So that's a match made in heaven. Fernando Mendoza doesn't attack the middle of the field at all.
I mean, doesn't mean he won't.
He's not doing it next year.
We'll see, man. Hey, they can coach him up. This offseason could be.
He ain't about to change his entire.
I'm just saying, you got Brock Bowers.
For the future,
you got Brock Bowers. You ain't gonna throw over the middle. You got Brock Bowers. You ain't gonna throw over the middle. Brock Bowers, come on now.
He didn't do it last year.
We'll see, man. We'll see, man. But we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. And hit that notification bell. Man, hey, we're gonna do this every Thursday. Y'all was shy today. Y'all scared to call in. It's all good. We'll be doing this. Typically, we'll do it every Thursday. Call-in shows or every other Thursday. We'll try to figure it out because especially when we have a guest, it might be a little bit too much. But we want to hear from Raider Nation. Salute to Coach calling in and chopping it up, man. We appreciate everybody supporting the show. Just make sure to clock in. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. And hit that notification bell. And we'll be back next week. 50-50 show Tuesday. Definitely tune in. The combine ain't over. So tomorrow's going to be tight ends and DBs. Saturday, I think that's where everybody's going to be paying attention a lot. You know what I mean? Just because it's going to be the marquee skill positions, guys like the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, the running backs. They're all going to run and do all their drills. So that's going to be, everybody's going to be paying attention to that. Yeah. I guess he's not.
That's a vertical route. A seam route is vertical route. That's not like over the middle of the field.
Are you talking about intermediate part of the field, like short to intermediate?
Yeah. Brian Thomas Jr. will run a seam route. Like it's like he's talking about like digs and shallow crossers and stuff like that, where you got a chance of running head first into a linebacker.
Well, you gotta hang into the pocket a little bit longer, like.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Brian Thomas will run a seam route. Like the seam route is just a route up the seam. Like that's a vertical route. Like I'm talking about like digs and crossers and ends and stuff like that. Like that's the stuff they saying Brian Thomas don't want to run. Like he'll have him wide open and he won't throw him the ball. He'll have Brock. Why he'll look dead at Brock and I'm gonna throw this deep curl.
Nah, for sure, man. Hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. Severe, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
You guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, X, IG, everywhere. The Severe Raider, man. Holla at your boy. Tuesdays and Thursdays with my guy, PharoahNFL, 50-50 show and Around the Shield, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to keep this thing going. Appreciate it. Appreciate Coach Colin, man. Appreciate you calling, repping for your godson, Tommy Eichenberg, man. I appreciate you. And then obviously Sundays and Wednesdays with my guys, Chris from Protect the Shield and 805 Raider, the Raider War Room. Make sure you tap in with those guys as well. Anybody gonna be in the Pittsburgh area for the draft, holla at me. And man, it's a lot of people, like I said before, I got probably like 40% of the people watching the video right now, probably on both channels. I don't know what Pharaoh's analytics are, but 40% of the people watching the video right now are not subscribed. Just take a quick second, hit that subscribe button, man. Hit the subscribe button. I'm like 150 away from 2,000. So just hit the subscribe button.
Man, definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Get my guy to 2,000. You know what I mean? Make sure to do that, man. Make sure to clock in, man. We're going live on both our channels, but hey, everybody watching on my channel, definitely head over. If you ain't subscribed to Severe already, definitely go ahead and do that. Obviously, everybody watching on this channel, definitely subscribe. Get this man to 2,000. That's a big number, so definitely support my guy. Money Chuck says, Severe Fair, now that we're running 3-4, are we willing to overpay Tariq Woolen and Devin Lloyd?
Not Reek. Maybe Devin Lloyd, but not Reek, though.
Yeah. Tariq kind of been, he had issues with Pete Carroll. He was getting benched with Pete Carroll as the head coach.
Yeah, remember they was talking about trading him this year. Remember they were like pushing. Remember they were like shopping him.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying, brother. You never know what's going on. They were shopping Tariq Woolen.
I think the Raiders should re-sign old boy
Stokes.
Eric Stokes. He kind of did his thing. He kind of like showed out this year. I mean, he didn't have like crazy numbers, but he was steady. And then you got a Darian Porter who, for whatever reason, wasn't starting every game in a terrible year like this, but he's gonna have an opportunity to start next year. And I think
they gave this dude a C+. They gave this motherfucker a C+ doing. Come on, man.
Man, it is what it is, man. But hey, man, make sure, like I said, make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find me everywhere, PharoahNFL, all over social media. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then follow us on Around the Shield on X and on IG. Go ahead and do so. We appreciate the support. You get all the latest Raiders good stuff on that on those social media pages. Always take the jump to other channels. Hey, yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Hey, man, Humber. Hey, bro, appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate you, bro. And real quick, man, we mention it from time to time. We don't always mention it, but if you guys have some, for our other show, if you guys have some notable quotables or some flags on the play, make sure you send it to Around the Shield or send it to Pharaoh or send it to myself. If you guys have any, for me personally, maybe Pharaoh too, if you guys have any prospects that you guys like in this upcoming draft, it could be high round. I mean, obviously, probably not first round picks. I know everybody just locked in on Mendoza, but if it's some guys you think in the second round or late round sleepers, just like send them my way, man. Because I'm always looking for some guys to highlight, man. Like usually the chat they be coming up with some names. That but okay, I check them out, man, and it's a lot of times it's some pretty good players. So make sure y'all send them our way.
Greg, you talking about Jacob Rodriguez? I think it's a linebacker that everybody's kind of like. He's one of those linebackers people.
Yeah, Texas Tech.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at that. This is a linebacker draft, so Raiders should probably grab one of them. And especially if they're moving to a 3-4, they're gonna need some. They're definitely gonna need some linebackers for sure. They're gonna need another guy. They're gonna keep Max, especially, or lose Max. They're gonna need some. They need edge rushers.
He said Jake Golday from and then the linebacker from TCU. Oh, the linebacker from TCU. I know he's talking about too. I forget his name. Damn. I know he's talking about too. But yeah, I'm gonna see this. That's perfect right now. I'm gonna check those guys out when we done with the show.
Okay.
I'm just another DJ. This fool.
My IG's full of flags on a play. Hey. Hey man, hey, but we like I said, we appreciate everybody coming through, man. Clock in, clock out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, man. We'll be back at the next week 50-50 show. Make sure to pay attention to this combine. We're gonna be talking about it next week. I'm sure there's gonna be guys that's gonna flash this weekend. Caleb Banks is another dude too, defensive tackle. He had a nice little 40 time. Like he's a guy that was hurt last year, super talented, 6'6". 300 and something pounds, could be like a nose tackle maybe, especially Raiders moving to a 3-4, that's what we didn't really get into that conversation a little bit. We kind of like moved past that, but the Raiders are going to be moving to a 3-4. So then there's going to be personnel thing, they're going to be like new personnel. Who's going to stay on? Who are the Raiders going to be targeting this off season? So that's something to pay attention to. We're going to continue that conversation next week on the 50-50 show. But yeah, man, any last thoughts, Severe, before we head out?
Nah, man. Like we said, man, make sure y'all, make sure y'all like the video, hype the video, comment and subscribe, man. Appreciate everybody that tuned in today, and see y'all on Tuesday.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.